Your perception is limited by the information that you have. You need to see the reality of the situation. I got that from Dr. Now, My 600-Pound Life. You have individuals who want to fight for their life to get their life back. They want to change, but they struggle to make the switch or change because of the information that they have in their head. The information that they have limits their ability to grasp the reality to change and lose weight. I can already hear you saying, what does this have to do with crypto? It's time for change. It's time for me to enlighten you with more information than what you already have in your head. There's a saying that once you know better, you do better. Well, no turning back now. Let's talk about it. Boom, we're back. It's time to get your affairs in order. 2030 is the goal. Longevity and sustainability is the goal. I'm talking about your finances. By the way, none of this is financial advice. Simply enlightening you with information from a different perspective. At the end of the day, you do what you want with it because the decision is yours, right? Now let's talk about the global goals and the 2030 agenda for sustainable development, okay? They seek to end poverty and hunger, realize human rights of all, achieve gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls, and ensure the lasting protection of the planet and its natural resources. I know, you're still wondering, what does this have to do with crypto? As you know, I must lay the foundation. You need to have an understanding, you need to understand background so that you can grasp the entirety of what I'm talking about, okay? Now the global goals come from 193 member states of the UN. Now for context, this was approved in September of 2015. It was an ambitious plan that set out to achieve prosperity that is respectful of the planet and its inhabitants. We all live here. The agenda is made up of 17 sustainable development goals, broken down into 169 targets to be met by 2030 with the intention of leaving no one behind. Here they are. Number 1, no poverty. 2, zero hunger. 3, good health and well-being. 4, quality education. 5, gender equality. 6, clean water and sanitation. 7, affordable and clean energy. 8, decent work and economic growth. 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. 10, reduced inequalities. 11, sustainable cities and communities. 12, responsible consumption and production. 13, climate action. 14, life below water. 15, life on land. 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. And last but not least, 17, partnership for the goals. Those are the 17 sustainable development goals as set forth by one of your countries. Now, the 2030 Agenda is a continuation of the UN Millennium Development Goals, which was from 2000 to 2015. This was the first international consensus on facing global problems such as the eradication of extreme poverty and hunger, and to promote improvements in access to education. Although the targets were not fully achieved, they nevertheless provided a basis for significant progress, which in 2015 was extended through the 2030 Agenda and its respective sustainable development goals. Now, there's a method of thinking or teaching that exists in education. It's called IB, International Baccalaureate, and there's a belief that we all contribute to society in some type of way. You're either contributing or you're taking away. Which one are you? Are you a consumer or producer?
For over 40 years, an international baccalaureate education has been helping people cross the boundaries that separate languages, countries, and cultures. Today, the IB continues that tradition, providing a continuum of international education that features 4 high-quality programs for students from 3 to 19 years old. In a rapidly changing world, IB programs aim to develop intercultural understanding and respect, a mission reflected in 10 core values. The IB Learner Profile describes the attributes of people who are empowered to help create a better and more peaceful world.
Now, I love this because it's a method of thinking that's not focused on self-centeredness. You see, selfish people only think of themselves and how things affect them. They keep themselves in the center of every situation because it's only about them. People who are selfless, on the other hand, think about themselves last and focus on how everything affects those around them. Now, in my opinion, these are the movers and shakers of the world. These are the people who are not scared to make it happen. These are the people who are not standing on the sidelines, but are willing to try and fail in an attempt to make life better for others. That's the real OG. Interesting to note, there are 3 countries who are not part of the UN. It's Taiwan, Kosovo, and Vatican City. The UN does not consider Taiwan and Kosovo as sovereign, rather as part of China and Serbia, respectively. Now, I didn't have time to go deep to find out why, but if you know, you can go ahead and comment below, let me know. Pay attention to the news, you'll notice that most corporations, government decisions are based on a specific year. That year focus is 2030 or somewhere around there. But why 2030? Now, based on the resolution document I read, which is very thorough, I might add, the goals and targets will stimulate action over the next 15 years in areas of critical importance for humanity and the planet. That was a statement from 2015. At the time, they felt like this is enough time for each country to work to achieve the goals considering the level of issues that may arise in each country. Now, with all that being said, here we are 8 years later. You can't predict future events, you can't predict crises, you can't predict wars, and you can't predict the selfishness of individuals. You can have a business plan all day, but you better be ready to make adjustments. No one in the world could have fathomed COVID. That was a global crisis that affected almost every nation on this planet. No one predicted the war with Ukraine and Russia. No one predicted bank failures or countries deciding not to use the US dollar as the main base currency. What we are able to predict, however, is a flawed system that has not adjusted to time and technology. Part of the flawed system are the individuals and corporations who have selfishly benefited at the expense of the masses. We can see there are individuals and corporations who are fighting to maintain power and control. I believe they know, whoever they are, they are unable to maintain control. So they have to create chaos, however possible, so at the end of the day it benefits them. Perfect example. Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, called Bitcoin a hyped up fraud. Crypto is a decentralized Ponzi scheme, he said. Yet in the same sentence, he believes in blockchain technology. What? Scratch my head too. I mean, just from a PR perspective, maybe he shouldn't talk about what he doesn't know, or maybe he does know, maybe that's just what he's trying to do. Or maybe his people should enlighten him with some talking points. I mean, I'm just saying. If you believe that they're against crypto, then you must have been living under a rock. Follow the money, y'all. I bet you'll find politicians and government officials in there. Anyone who is screaming so hard against it, I'll find you as a suspect. You are all part of the flawed system of individuals and corporations who have been benefiting off the masses. The UN Secretary General has stressed that the recovery from the COVID-19 crisis must lead to a different economy. Everything we do during and after this crisis must be with a strong focus on building more equal, inclusive, and sustainable economies and societies that are more resilient in the face of pandemics, climate change, and the many other global challenges we face. For the country you live in, you can tell me if you believe that's happening. Is it happening in your country? Do you see a change? I'm always talking about crypto, y'all. Let's focus on number 9, number 1, and number 8. None of which can happen without embracing cryptocurrency, in my opinion. Let's start with number 9. The overview of Sustainable Development Goal number 9 is to build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Blockchain technology and everything else that comes along with it is essential to these industries. Now, what stood out for me in this graphic that you're looking at right here is the mention of higher technology industries far more resilient in crisis. Simply put, countries that embrace the technology for the betterment of their citizens will thrive. Countries who don't will get left behind. The global cryptocurrency market size was valued at $1.49 billion in 2020, y'all, and is projected to reach almost $5 billion in 2030, growing at a rate of 12.8% from 2021 to 2030. That's amazing. But let me say this. Things change, people change, we make adjustments. Number 8 is a difficult one because this is where we are right now as a society and a result of many factors, globally and within your country. Each country has specific and different issues that they're dealing with. How each country handles unemployment, rising inflation, labor market challenges, and more are critical to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goal. How these countries choose to embrace blockchain technology, in my opinion, and cryptocurrency plays a critical role in the advancement of their people. As you can see here, global economy recovery has been set back by the Ukraine crisis. Ending poverty is quite a feat. I wonder if that can even happen within my lifetime. COVID has set some of the low-income countries back as far as 8 to 9 years, which is even higher than pre-pandemic levels. So now let's just bring it back all. Let me summarize it. I talked about all of that to get to this. Embracing blockchain technology is critical to the growth of our global economies, and I'm proud to say that the UN has been analyzing the role of blockchain technology to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. As a result of their analysis, it has been determined that the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals involves a correct management of the financing and monitoring of the actions to be carried out, and that therefore the use of blockchain technology as a tool parallel to existing systems can contribute to minimize the occurrence of blockages, bottlenecks, and speed up financial liquidity by limiting frictions in the transfer of value. Whew, that's a lot of information, y'all. I hope you got something. This video was all about education, really. It wasn't about finances, but in a sense it was. Longevity and sustainability needs a strong economy, and a strong economy must have a strong financial system. The goal is to get there by 2030 as a country and globally. What do you think that means for us or for you? It means a lot if you keep your eyes and your ears open and you don't become a product of these broken systems. Pay attention, y'all. It's free. Hey, go ahead and share this video. Tell your friends to come on over here and like and subscribe. Oh, hold on. Let me just say this. No one can make you do anything you don't want to do. So stop blaming others. You can be influenced, but remember the decision is yours to make. Let me just go back to Dr. Now. Dr. Now says losing weight is no magic trick. You have these people who want to have the bypass surgery. And he explains to them that bypass surgery is a tool to help them get there. It's science. If you want to lose weight, point blank period, you've got to eat less. If your mind is not right, there will be no surgery. Get your mind right. Get your affairs in order and prepare yourself for 2030 now. It's your boy, Crypto Rock, all Cryp, Lord of none. Hey, listen, 3 types of people in this world. Those who watch things happen, those who make things happen, and those who say what happened. Catch y'all on the next one.